The 1971 Ford Mustang marked a bold turning point in the history of America's most iconic pony car, and today on USA Car Reviews we're going to dive deep into what made this model so special, why it stood out at the time, and how it remains one of the most recognizable Mustangs ever built. The first-generation Mustang that debuted in 1964 became an instant sensation. It created the pony car segment and became the dream car for a whole generation. But by the time 1970 rolled around, competition was heating up. Chevrolet had the Camaro, Pontiac had the Firebird, Dodge had the Challenger, and Plymouth had the Barracuda. Ford knew they had to evolve the Mustang to keep it fresh, and that's where the 1971 redesign came in. The 1971 model year ushered in the largest Mustang yet. Compared to the outgoing 1970 version, the new Mustang was longer, lower, and wider. It looked more aggressive, more muscular, and more intimidating than ever before. The car stretched nearly 3 inches longer in the wheelbase and about 2 inches wider in overall body width. The styling was overseen by Ford's design boss of the time, Larry Shinoda, and it was clearly influenced by the muscle car era that was at its peak. The body lines were sharper, the hood was elongated, and the rear had a low, fastback stance that screamed performance even when the car was standing still. Under the hood, Ford gave buyers an incredible range of options. The base engine was a 250 cubic inch inline 6-cylinder, but let's be honest, very few Mustang buyers wanted a 6. The real magic came with the V8 options. You could get a 302 V8, a 351 Cleveland, and for those who wanted serious muscle, there was the big block 429 Cobra Jet and the Super Cobra Jet. These engines were legendary for their brute power, especially before emissions and insurance regulations started to choke horsepower numbers across the industry. With the 429 Super Cobra Jet, the 1971 Mustang Mach 1 could put down over 370 horsepower, which was monstrous for the time. The Mach 1 was the performance-oriented model, and it looked the part. It came standard with the sports roof fastback body style, which had that signature sloping rear glass and aggressive stance. The Mach 1 package added special badging, optional matte black hood paint, functional hood scoops, competition suspension, and of course a variety of stripes and decals that let everyone know this was not an ordinary Mustang. Inside, the Mach 1 also stood out with high back bucket seats, optional wood grain trim, and performance-oriented gauges. When you sit inside a 1971 Mustang Mach 1, you immediately get the sense of being in a driver-focused environment. The dashboard is wide and wraps slightly toward the driver. The steering wheel proudly carries the Mustang logo, and the gauges are large, easy to read, and positioned directly in front of you. The Mach 1 interior could be optioned with luxurious features like air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, and even power windows, but the essence of the car remained pure muscle. You sat low, you looked out over that long hood, and you felt like you were piloting something powerful and commanding. On the road, the 1971 Mustang was a different animal compared to earlier versions. The extra size and weight made it feel more substantial, more planted, especially at high speeds. Critics at the time noted that while it wasn't as nimble as the smaller first-generation cars, it had a strong presence and plenty of straight-line performance. And let's be real, in the early 70s, that's what muscle cars were all about, looking mean and going fast in a straight line. The styling of the 1971 Mustang was polarizing back then, and even today it divides opinions. Some people feel it was too big, straying away from the small and sporty roots of the original Mustang. Others absolutely love the aggressive, almost intimidating look of the 71 through 73 models. One thing is certain, you can't mistake it for any other year Mustang. The wide grille with its inset headlights, the sculpted hood with optional scoops, the bold rear end with its triple taillights, it all combined to give the 1971 Mustang a character all its own. It's also worth noting that the 1971 Mustang was one of the last true high-performance Mustangs of the classic muscle car era. By 1972 and 1973, horsepower ratings were dropping due to new SAE-net measurement standards, insurance companies were punishing buyers of big engines, and emissions equipment was starting to sap performance. That makes the 1971 models, especially the Mach 1s with big block power, some of the most desirable muscle Mustangs from that era. Collectors today appreciate the 1971 Mustang for its unique place in history. It represents the end of an era when automakers were still able to build cars with raw power and unapologetic styling before regulations and the oil crisis of 1973 changed everything. Prices for well-kept Mach 1s have been climbing, and rare versions like the 429 Super Cobra Jet with drag pack are especially sought after by enthusiasts. What makes this car even more special is how it still turns heads today. Whether you see one at a car show, a drag strip, or even just parked at a gas station, the 1971 Mustang commands attention. Its presence is undeniable. It has that perfect combination of 70s muscle car design, powerful engine options, and the Mustang legacy all wrapped into one package. Driving a restored Mach 1 today is an experience unlike anything in modern cars. The raw sound of the V8, the heavy steering, the manual gearbox, and the sheer size of the hood in front of you all combine to remind you that this was from an era when driving was about connection, noise, and adrenaline. It's not about touchscreen infotainment or advanced driver assists. It's about the thrill of the machine, and the 1971 Mustang delivers that in spades. So, when people ask what makes the 1971 Mustang so special, the answer is simple. It's a car that captured the peak of the muscle car era, with styling that was bold, engines that were powerful, and a presence that still makes an impression half a century later. Whether you love it for its design, its performance, or its place in history, the 71 Mustang deserves respect as one of the defining muscle cars of its time. Here at USA Car Reviews, we celebrate classics like the 1971 Ford Mustang because they remind us of what made American cars so great. They were bold, they were loud, and they were unforgettable. The Mustang name continues to this day, but if you want a taste of pure muscle car heritage, the 1971 Mach 1 is a perfect example. Thank you for watching USA Car Reviews, where we bring you deep dives into America's most legendary cars. If you enjoyed this look at the 1971 Ford Mustang, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment sharing your favorite Mustang memory. Until next time, keep the passion for cars alive and we'll see you on the next review.